Hello Internet, my name is Brink and welcome to my quick start guides. Today we're taking a look at the Colossus Prot Warrior rotation. This isn't a full deep dive, see it as a core rotation guide, providing you with the foundation you need to start in midnight. This video will help you understand how the spec works and get you quickly comfortable at the start of the new expansion. No homework, no spreadsheets, just the important knowledge you need to start tanking as a warrior with confidence. If you do enjoy this guide and would like to see a talent guide or a more in-depth guide, make sure to press like on this video. I will create a more in-depth guide for the warrior. For this video, we'll be focusing strictly on the Colossus Prot Warrior rotation and how it works together with a few important talents. This way you can get a clear understanding of what's happening and why. So why Colossus? Because there is a chance that its counterpart, Mountain Vane, will outperform Colossus. Trust me on this one. It will most definitely not outshine it in the fun department. So if they're really close and you want a bit more layers in your rotation, then my advice is don't let that slight damage difference stop you from playing Colossus. It's just more fun and has more depth to it, in my opinion. Class talents that impact your rotation. I will showcase the Rage Feeder talents and talents that synergize with Shield Slam, as this build is all about this. Thanks to the talent War Machine, you generate rage from your auto attacks. Frothing Berserker. Revenge has a 20% chance to refund 50% of the rage spent. Anger Management. Rage you spend lowers your cooldown on Avatar and Shield Wall. Important spec talents. Devastator. Makes your auto attack stronger and 25% chance to reset the remaining cooldown on Shield Slam. Instigate. Devastate deals 20% increased damage and generates 2 rage, or Devastator deals 10% increased damage and generates 2 rage. Devastate, Thunderclap, Revenge and Execute have a 25% chance to reset the cooldown on Shield Slam. Brace for Impact. Using Shield Slam increases the damage of Shield Slam and block value, can stack up to 3 times. Punish. Shield Slam damage increased by 15% and reduces the damage you take by 3% for 9 seconds and can overlap. Violent Outburst. Every 250 rage you spend triggers Violent Outburst, causing your next Shield Slam to do 200% increased damage, generate more rage and grant you Ignore Pain. Deep Wounds. Execute inflicts deep wounds, giving it a bleed damage dot over 6 seconds. We won't be taking this talent as deep wounds already gets applied by your hero talent, but the important thing to know is this causes the target to suffer of bleed damage, a damage over time for 6 seconds. This can be reapplied and the remaining damage won't be lost when you do so. So why is this bleed damage interesting? Well, first you can buff the damage with the next talent, Bloodborne. Damage is increased by 25%. Then you have Fueled by Violence. You are healed for 110% of the damage dealt by rend and deep wounds. This self-healing from inflicting damage is really nice to have. Okay, so this hero talent tree gives you a completely new ability called Demolish. Your goal is to cast Demolish as often as humanly possible. You could think, why Brink? Why is Demolish so important that you want to cast it that often? Well, everything feeds into Demolish. This ability does way more than it has any right to, and it's this ability that makes it stand out from its counterpart, Mountain Vane. First off, it does a good chunk of AoE damage. It also provides 10% damage reduction while channeling. Granted, you need it as you're standing there channeling, and I would say 10% isn't enough when you're taking a lot of damage while doing this ability. So it's a good thing that your shield block or shield wall are off the global cooldown, meaning you can use these during the channeling of this ability. Just like Decimator, it applies deep wounds to every target. So because it does this, you don't need to spend points in the talent deep wounds. Is that all, Brink? No, we're not done yet. Your final hit gives you 10% haste for 10 seconds. And your next Shield Slam gets bonus crit. And don't underestimate the self-healing of the deep wounds dot that you just spread to all the targets. I mean, that's a lot packed into one button. And now the fun part. Because your last hero talent also provides a really cool mini game. Let me show you how this works. Your rotation is built around Revenge and Thunderclap because they fuel your Shield Slam procs, and Shield Slam is the engine. Demolish hits hard, does massive AoE damage, but it starts on a 45-second cooldown. Here is the synergy. Every Shield Slam reduces that cooldown. So the message is simple. Slam your shields, slam it non-stop and as much as you can. There is a small catch, as it's not a 1-to-1 ratio before it starts doing the cooldown reduction, that being 10 stacks. And so this is where Colossus turns things spicy. Every time Shield Slam hits an enemy, you gain 1 stack of Colossus Might. You gain 2 stacks if it crits. Each stack buffs your Demolish damage. Revenge needs to hit 3 enemies to also provide a stack of Colossus Might. Like I said, Colossus Might stacks up to 10 times. And once you're capped, every new stack reduces Demolish cooldown by 2 seconds. And yes, this happens way more often than you expect. Understanding the rotation. Instead of me explaining a fixed order of buttons to press, I feel it's way more useful to understand the meaning of your rotation and what it is you're trying to accomplish. You have one resource, rage, and just one rage bar to keep an eye on. You have abilities that generate rage and abilities that cost rage. You generate with charge, shield slam, thunderclap and demo shout. And you spend rage on revenge, ignore pain and shield block. Like I said earlier, you want to shield slam as often as possible and most definitely after you have used your 45-second cooldown Demolish to lower its cooldown. So there are a few layers happening when looking at the abilities in your rotation. The first layer is all about rage and how it flows. The goal is building rage, spending it smart and don't overcap, and turning that rage into damage and survivability at the same time. Okay, let's take a closer look at these abilities and see what it is they are exactly doing, so you get a deeper understanding. We will start with our rage spender, Revenge. Revenge does an arc of damage. It costs 20 rage, and when you dodge or parry, it has a chance to become free. This happens pretty often. As you can see from this talent, Best Served Gold, now it happens even more often. And when it does become free, it also does more damage and it buffs your Thunderclap damage by 8%. This is saying it's nice to press Revenge before Thunderclap and makes it basically your first button to press after you charge in. Charge will give you 20 rage, just enough to press Revenge. Because of Strategist, your Revenge can make your Shield Slam cooldown reset. This is kinda saying it's good to press Revenge when you have used your Shield Slam to lower its cooldown. What else does Revenge do? It provides a stack of Colossus Might, and these stacks also buff the damage of Revenge with the next talent, Tide of Battle. And then you have two more talents that increase the damage. Thunderclap is next. It does AoE damage, it slows the enemy's hit and applies rend to all targets. Remember that rend also feeds into the bleed dot that heals you over time. Crackling Thunder makes the radius bigger and reduces the speed of your enemies more. Thunderclap can also reset the cooldown of Shield Slam. And Thunderlord makes it so the more enemies you hit, the more it reduces the cooldown on Demoralizing Shout. Remember, Demo Shout is a good rage generator. Be sure to press it when you are rage starved. And of course, its main function is to reduce the damage you take by 20%. And last but not least, the Apex. The Apex also makes Thunderclap the enabler for your next Shield Slam to do more damage. So it's telling you, press Thunderclap before you Shield Slam. It will do more damage and all enemies hit by the rubble in front of you will do 5% less damage to you. Yes, this is caused by Shield Slam, but only if you press Thunderclap first. And I have tested this. You can cast other spells in between, if need be, as it will remember the Thunderclap. Now for your bread and butter, Shield Slam. This ability does so much we could spend an hour on it. I'll try to keep it short and precise. Shield Slam slams the target with your shield, causing physical damage, generates 18 rage. You will notice right away it's 2 rage short, to be followed up by a Revenge. But this isn't all, let's check the talent tree. It will light up like Christmas when you type in Shield Slam. Many of these are other abilities that reset the cooldown of Shield Slam, but other things to be aware of are Brace of Impact. Using Shield Slam increases the damage of Shield Slam by 10% and the block value by 5%. Both can stack up 3 times, putting your block value to 15%. And why is this important? Don't get me wrong, the more damage is nice, but the block value will help you block more, so take less damage and therefore making your Revenge more often free to use. Punish. Shield Slam does more damage and reduces damage against you by 3% for 9 seconds, and it can overlap, so effectively works as a shield, shielding you from incoming damage. Next talent, you can go for Impenetrable Wall. This will make Shield Slam lower the cooldown of Shield Wall by 6%, but I think Defender's Aegis is better. 2 charges on a 1.8 minute cooldown is plenty. Just like Heavy Repercussion and Violent Outburst, people way smarter than me will figure out what ones are the best to choose. The most magic for Shield Slam happens in the hero talents. Cut to the Bone. When Shield Slam crits, it increases your bleeds, rend and deep wounds damage by another 25%. So it's making that self-healing stronger. Defensive, really nice. Shield Slam also feeds into Demolish by providing a stack of Colossus Might. And the next talent makes it give another stack when Shield Slam crits. And by doing so, all these stacks add up, and it reduces the cooldown of Demolish. Now a quick transition to the Apex node. I know some people are considering not taking it, this last node. but I'm hoping tuning will incentivize you to take it. Because when you use shield block before shield slam, your crit chance of shield slam is increased by 20%. And with the talent Crushing Force, adding another flat 5% crit increase, giving it a whopping 25% increased crit chance. So why should you get excited if you shield slam crits? Every time shield slam crits, you gain multiple stacks, lowering your cooldown on Demolish, and making your self-healing dot bigger. So as you can tell, it's a really nice feedback loop. So in short, Revenge buffing your Thunderclaps inflicting rend to all targets, and Shield Slam increases the damage of your bleeds, increasing your self-healing and lowering the cooldown on Demolish. And you can make sure all this happens even harder by making it crit, just by timing a shield block at the right moment. And at the same time also helping you keep shield block up as much as possible. It's brilliant in its simplicity, if you ask me. So what does it look like? Make sure you have Battle Shout up. We charge in, gain 20 rage, spend it on Revenge, get some good threat on the pack and Thunderclap to seal the deal. Now press your Shield Slam and send some rubble to your enemies. That's your pull right there. I would now press Demolish, and while it's casting, press Shield Block for some more defense. You want to keep up Shield Block as much as possible. Feel free to weave in your Demo Shout and Avatar on big packs. Shield Wall has 2 charges, so be sure to use it often. Now we start doing our normal rotation. And kinda let the global cooldowns decide what we're pressing, as you don't want to wait for an ability to come off cooldown. You're always pressing something. Keep in mind, we want to press Shield Slam the most. And make sure to keep up your shield block. Try to keep it up 100% of the time. As simple as it sounds, it will feel like you're making small mistakes at times. Don't worry about it too much. Your rotation isn't about memorizing a strict sequence. It's knowing why you're pressing certain abilities and pressing them with intent. It's about balancing rage generation and spending, staying tanky and pressing the right abilities at the right moments to keep the flow going and maximize both damage and mitigation. Once you understand the balance and the rhythm, everything else in your Colossus build, the mini games, the talent synergies, the cooldowns, just clicks. In short, generate rage and don't waste rage by overcapping. So spend rage. Spend it to keep yourself alive and spend it on Revenge without feeling guilty, because Revenge helps indirectly to reduce cooldowns as you are fishing for those desired Shield Slam procs. And there you have it. That's the full breakdown. Keep this cycle going and you'll maximize both your damage and survivability. There's honestly a lot more we could talk about with Protection Warrior. This class has a ton of utility and we didn't even have time to properly dive into its offensive and defensive cooldowns. So there's absolutely room for a deep dive. Smash that like button and I'll make it happen. For now we covered a lot just focusing on your core rotation. So we're going to wrap it up here. I hope this video helped you out, and if it did, drop a comment below and let me know. Talent build links are down in the description. Remember, these are for midnight, not the pre-patch. With all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, and until next time, drinks out.